What I'll show you today is this demo called Mirage Blocks, and first of all, it's just a single-person demo. As most of the demos on this side kind of work for one person only. But the idea that we're following here is we're combining 3D scanning, 3D acquisition of objects with 3D projections, so that you can we basically make the space that you interact with completely 3D and physical. So if I have a volunteer here, anybody?
They're sure representing.
All right.
If
you sit down, and you put your glasses on. So this looks just like a regular desk, and in fact it is. It's just a piece of foam core. We have one 3D camera and Kinect camera in the back, and a 3D projector above. But the idea is that anything that you put on the desk gets instantaneously scanned and digitized for you and mirrored in this case. So if you put an object right there, so what everybody else is seeing is a little bit distorted, right? You're seeing, first of all, you're seeing stereo image, so you see two images behind it. But he who's actually sitting in the chair, his eyes are tracked, and he's seeing not only the correct single image, right? He's seeing the depth image, but he's also seeing it from a correct perspective, because we project things from the perspective of the user, right? So right now everything is mirrored, and one nice thing about the system, so now anything physical that you put on top of the table, right, becomes instantaneously scanned. We can actually capture these objects. For example, let's say if you remove your hands for a second right there. It is quite fun. It is quite fun. But yeah, if you remove your hands from the table for a second, yeah, we can take a snapshot of the table. And right now you can have an out-of-body experience, right? It's a 3D representation of whatever you had on the table before, and now you can actually move it. You can do things that you can do the typical virtual things, right? You can also make those physical things bigger, which you cannot make in real space. You can make things bigger, but this time you can actually see how they're there. You can also rotate them around and do all sorts of things that are possible with digital things. If we remove these things, another idea here is that if you only have a single block, this is still kind of a fun game. You can use one single block to build a whole virtual castle, right? So you can keep scanning things. By the way, you have the same controls right next to you. You can just press capture and it actually captures. Right, it's also scanning your hand, right? Anything that's on the table, it gets there.
That's why there's an undo button.
Yeah, there's an undo button, exactly. It's right there.
Even in the future, we have.
So there's a couple interesting things that we're working towards. This is just kind of a first demo in the series of practical demos. One way to think about it is you can think about having a telepresence scenario. So not only we're here mirroring your appearance, but you can think about physical things being your physical things, but we can reproject virtual things from your collaborator and do the same thing somewhere else.